Hello everyone, my name is Emma and welcome to this YouTube channel. Hello everyone, my name is Emma and welcome to my first YouTube video. Not my first, but some of my first, one of my first, I don't know. Hello everyone, my name is Emma and welcome to this YouTube channel. So I'm assuming if you've clicked into this video, you want to learn some animation or just want to hear someone talk. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. If I could go through my channel, I currently have 13 subscribers and 45 videos, and I'm trying to grow my community. And I figured, like, if I put like some tutorials, like actual tutorials, not the final draft, that maybe we could grow somewhere. So let's get right into it. So what we're going to be doing today is this. So I was able to like make a bouncing ball animation, and the resources I'm using is this book, Richard Williams, Animator's Survival Kit. Yeah, so a bit of a backstory. At the start of this year, I decided that I wanted to pursue animation. However, like for the past 6 months, I have been in like a YouTube tutorial hell. And then it came June. I figured that maybe I should just get the book and teach myself. And so today is the 10th of June. And like I noticed that there's not so much resources, and I want to share a bit of knowledge that I have gathered. So welcome guys. Yeah. So I am using Krita. So Krita is this application that you can use to draw and animate, and it's the one I'm comfortable with. So I don't want to assume that you already know like how Krita works. So I'll just give a little bit of an introduction. So, for example, you have already installed Krita. The first thing you do is you click on File and create a new file. And a new file, yeah, just create a new file. Create, and it is created like that. So there's a bunch of things that are necessary to use when animating. So like down here, I don't know if you can see, down here we have the timeline. So this is where you are going to draw your frames. When I say frames, I mean the actual drawings. For example, like when the ball is going down, like those. So you will change each frame, and like put the drawing. Yeah. So a few terminologies I want to just introduce, like before a few terminologies I want to introduce just before we get into animating. So we have something known as the keyframes. We have the breakdowns. We have the in-betweens. We have the X sheet. And we also, finally, we have the time chart. So these are terminologies that you can, the time chart, terminologies that you can find in the book, in Richard Williams' Animator Survival Kit. You could download it and find it online. So let's begin with the keyframes. Keyframes are where like the actual actions are going to take place. So for example, you are throwing a ball. So the first, let's say you are throwing it from the top. So the first keyframe is going to be at the top. The next second keyframe is going to be where the first boink is. The third keyframe is going to be where the other boink is. And yeah, like that. That's what a keyframe is. Then you immediately move to the breakdown. So the breakdown are the midpoints. So between here and here, like in the middle is where we get the breakdown. And then we have the in-betweens. So the in-betweens are between the keyframe and the breakdown, the tiny necessary necessary what frames inside the keyframe. Inside the keyframe in the timeline, between the keyframe and the breakdown. And then yeah, those are the in-betweens. And then there's the X sheet. So the X sheet is like sort of like a what? A form that helps you in planning where you will place each drawing in a frame. So for example, drawing one, which is this, like is this at the is at the top, it's going to be like, if you notice here, it's going to be in frame one and it's going to be the first drawing. So when you're animating, you start drawing with, if your first drawings are the keyframes, like the main points, what I meant, where the boinks, that's what I mean. So like for example, this is what now the X sheet does. It helps you plan. So for example, the second keyframe, so the second keyframe is going to be like, so the second boink, like it's at the top, then at the boink, it's going to be at the frame 10. And that's what the X sheet helps you plan. Yeah. I want to make a correction. So I said here that drawing so how I've arranged, you can see here it's the frame and the drawing. So at frame 10 here, at frame 10 is where the second drawing is going to be. Yeah, and now let's get back. So let's now actually start animating. Yeah. So we'll use a new file, like how we created one. Create a new file. So if I were to go back to the book, so that like I can maybe explain better. Page is it? So this is the example that I want to use. I'm going to like animate a ball that is falling from the sky, like going downwards. So if you want like more information on this, you can go to page 30 what? 46, 36, 37 on the book. So I should mention that I am not yet a great artist. So something that I do to make sure that it goes like in an arc form, I come to Krita and then I create a new layer, a paint layer. Then I name it arc, right? Arc. So in this layer is where I'll draw like the arc shape, and it's where I'll draw the arc shape, and it's going to like to guide me in animating like the movement of the ball, right? So let's do that. So the ball is coming from the top, So it's something like this, this, this. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. So it's something like, so when you're drawing like the arc, if you're not an artist yet, you should like draw from the wrist. You can see I'm also still struggling, but we learn, guys. Like that, like that. Ah. Like that, like that. Yeah, I think that makes me happy. So I lock, I don't know if you can see, I lock this layer, and then I go back to the paint layer, and then now we can start animating. So like I had said, you require to have like somewhere you've prepared like your X sheet where you have the frame and the drawing. So for example, so frame 1 is where I said we start drawing with our first, like in animation, you start with the key drawings. So like for our drawing 1 is going to be in frame 1. So here you notice it's frame 0, so we move here to frame 1 and we draw like a ball shape, like on top of it. So the next keyframe, so here in between, now here in between is where we're going to use the line, the time chart, like the time chart to like know how we are going to plan out our in-betweens. But let's first get through with the keyframes. So our first keyframe is at frame 1. Let's assume our second keyframe, we can put it at maybe let's say 11. You see I jumped to 11. Then our third keyframe, we can put it at maybe like 16. And then after that, I have to repeat that the keyframe at where like we put the main ones, like the main frames. Yeah. So here in the final one, you can put that for. Yeah, and you're done with the keyframes. So after the keyframes, now you move to the in-betweens. I'm trying to find. Oh yeah. Now you move to the in-betweens. I went back and prepared like an X sheet in advance. So you should, like I said, it's important to have an X sheet before you start drawing, because if you don't have one and you start drawing, you're going to get confused. So if we analyze my X sheet, my first frame, which is my first frame, is going to my first drawing, which is my first keyframe, is going to be in frame 1. In frame 1, drawing 1. So here, my second drawing, which is the first point, is going to be in frame 11. Yeah. My third one in 21, and my fourth one in 28. Oh yeah, and another thing I forgot to mention, if you put the onion skins on, see what the onion skin does, it shows you your previous drawing that you can follow through easily. So for example, so we said the first one is in frame 1, the second frame is in frame 11, the third keyframe is in frame 21, the fourth is in frame 28, the final oink, right? So yeah, so if we play this, so what I do, like I hide the what? I hide the axe and I press play, and you see it doesn't yet look like a bouncing ball. So that's why we stop it, and now we start adding the in-betweens and the breakdowns. So we open the eye again so that now we can now start drawing the in-betweens and the breakdowns. So the second, wait, what? Yeah. So now we can start like drawing what is in the middle of here. So now that's where the work of the line chart is. So the line chart, it guides us on like the spacing between like the one that's going to come here. How will I space this out? The ones that are between 1 and like between, I start from 1 and 11. So that's what I'll explain next. It's the time chart. So it's no, the line chart, it's called a time chart. So I think, so this is how you draw a time chart. A time chart helps you like plan on the spacing between of the in-betweens, of the breakdowns, of everything in your drawing, in your animation. So then before we get to the in-betweens, let's start first with the breakdowns of the animation. We said that the breakdowns are at the midpoints of like the midpoints between the keyframes. So we can start like with this keyframe 11. So the midpoint here is at the top, right? And I think what I do is I just use like simple math, and I put it in frame 16 because it's at the middle. And also like for the second one, I put it at frame 25 because it's at the middle one, at the middle. So for the first keyframe, you notice it's starting from the top, so it's kind of like 1 is the midpoint, it's the breakdown. And then now we move to the in-betweens. Now the ones that come here, here, and here. And now to make it like appear like a flowing system. So in animation, there is something known as drawing in twos or in ones. So when they say drawing in twos or in ones, it means you kind of skip in twos. In ones, it means I'll draw like I have keyframe 1 here and my in between will be at frame 2. But drawing in twos, it means my frame 2 will be at my keyframe, my in between will be at frame 3. So according to Richard, yeah, according to the book, he says that drawing in twos is for normal actions. Like it's advised to draw in twos for normal actions like walking and just doing normal stuff like maybe the pendulum, moving your hands. And the way where you use drawing in ones is where you have fast actions. So it's different. it's different. Like between each keyframe, you use different methods. You can use drawing in twos or drawing in ones. Like it's going to be a choice, and it's going to be depend on how fast or how slow the action is. So here I pick I decide to draw in twos because I think it's a normal action. So for my next frame, because it's a ball going down, I'm going to put the next ball drawing at frame 3, then the next one at frame 5, at frame 3, the next one at frame 5, next one at frame 7. It's moving like in a flowy position. Then the next one at frame 9, right? And that's how I feel it should go. And we're done, like between keyframe 1 and the first keyframe and the second keyframe, which is 11. So this 11, it's where the boink is. So I don't know, I feel like this is short. I'll go with like drawing in ones, in ones, because I want it to like move faster. Yeah, so I'm going to draw it at frame 12. Frame 12. Just think of the action of drawing a ball. Like it starts from, should I do it? It starts from like a slow, then no. So at frame 12, I'm going to put it like farther, because, or like a normal distance, because like there, it's how we will draw the ball. It will appear like this. Yeah. Then 14, we could put it here. So 15, I want to put it here, like really close to like the midpoint, because like you notice when you throw a ball, when it reaches the top, it almost feels like gravity pulls them together. Then at 17, I'm also going to put it there because it's at the middle. 18, now it starts to like drop. 19, it's also dropping. 20, it's also dropping. And I do the same for the last boing. Like it's just moving slowly like that. 24, I put it close to like 25, to the mid, so I can increase the size of this. Increase the size of the midpoint. 26, it starts to drop. 7, it completely drops. Yeah, guys, and that is how I have understood the bouncing ball. So let's just do like a replay. So I hide the arcs. Then I come here and reduce the clip to like 30 to end at the 30th frame. Then I press play. See, it kind of looks like a bouncing ball, right? So you could make changes. It's according to your wishes, but yeah, and I should also show you how to like render the animation. So you go to file, render animation, and you press OK. You press OK, and it's now located in your downloads. Wait, just a minute. It's now located. It's now located in your downloads file. and it's somehow a 1-second video. Yeah, animation is a lot of work, but I think that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and if you feel like this is something you might be interested to continue listening to or learning, so consider to subscribe. Road to 2,000 subscribers. Yeah, until next time we're going to be talking about the pendulum. I think that's like the next topic in the book, so I'll go through it, I do my practice, and come and show you guys what I've understood. Yeah, thank you.